सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। We will chant the shlokas which we have covered. I will chant, you can repeat. ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः। धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय। सञ्जय उवाच दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकम् व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत् पश्येतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यमहतीं च मूम् व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता अत्र शूरा महेश्वासाः भीमार्जुनसमायुधि युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः दृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित्कुन्तिभोजश्च शैब्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः। I think 5 only we did, no? So Dhritarashtra asked a question to his assistant Sanjaya. Mamakaha Pandavaha cha kim akurvata Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. In the battlefield called Kurukshetra, what did my people, means Kauravas and Pandavaha, did? What did they do? What did my people and Pandava do in the battlefield? As I said, it is a funny question because they have come to battlefield and they are yuyutsavaha, desirous of fighting. What they will do? Fight. But he had a hope. Dhritarashtra had a hope that somehow, because of the impact of the place, Duryodhana may change and he will give the share of Pandavas and war might have been avoided. And more than that, more than having this feeling about his son, he had a feeling that Yudhishthira, because of the impact of the place, and is basically also is a very good person, and therefore he might have decided to drop the idea of war and they must have just stopped the war. Means they must not have started the war. And this is human nature. We want others to be good. I don't want to do what is supposed to be done. I want others to do it. I may shout, but you should listen to me silently. That's what. I may get angry, but you should not get angry. So that's a double standard expectation we have. So that we think that things will run smoothly if others are good. So Yudhishthira also had a hope, but it didn't happen. Then Sanjaya is describing, he is first answering the question, Mamakaha kim akurvata? What did my people, Kauravas, do? And he started giving the description that in the beginning, Duryodhana went to the Acharya and he described the army of Pandavas. And that is what the description going on. He is mentioning great warriors in the army of Pandavas. Drishtaketuhu, Atra Shura Maheshvasaha, Bhimarjuna Samayudhi, Yuyudhanaha, Virataha. Yuyudhana is there, Virata, and Drupada, who is a Maharatha, Drishtaketuhu, Chekitanaha, Kashirajaha, and Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, Shaibya, Narapungava means all great people. All of them are best people, great warriors are there in the Pandavas side. And the description continues, the description of Pandavas army. Yudha Manyuscha Vikrantaha Uttamaujascha Viryavan Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva eva Maharathaha. Yudhamanyuhu cha Vikrantaha. Vikrantaha is an adjective, powerful. Yudhamanyu. Yudhamanyu is the name of a warrior. Yudhamanyu, who is very powerful, and Uttamaujaha is also a name of a warrior. Uttamauja is, some people say is a Drupada, or some people say Drupada's Kumara, prince of Drupada. Uttamaujaha is singular. Uttamaujaha Viryavan. Very powerful king called Uttamauja in the side of Pandavas army. Saubhadraha. Saubhadra is the name of Arjuna's son through Subhadra. Arjuna had several wives. Draupadi was one, common to all five, and other wives also were there. One of them was Subhadra. Subhadra is Krishna's sister. And through Subhadra, Arjuna had a son and his name was Abhimanyu. That Abhimanyu is called here Saubhadraha. Subhadrayaha apatyam Saubhadraha. The son of Subhadra. In those days, a person was to be known through mother's name and father's name both. Like Arjuna is called Pandava also and he is called Kaunteya also. Pandava means the Pandu's son. Kaunteya means Kunti's son. So both ways a person will be known. So here the title of Abhimanyu as Saubhadra based on his mother's name, Subhadra. Then Draupadeyaha. Draupadeya means 5 sons of Draupadi. Draupadi name is now very popular, in India. Draupadi is the president. So, Draupadi, her original name was different. Afterward, Draupadi, somebody called. She continued. Draupadi was the wife of Pandavas. And through each Pandava, she delivered one son. And they are called here Draupadaya. 5 sons of Draupadi. Their names also given. Prativindhya, then Sutasoma, Shrutakarma, Shatanika, Shrutasena. So these are the 5 sons of Draupadi. They are of course in the Pandava side. Sarve eva Maraharathaha. All of them are great warriors. And in the last class we saw that there are titles given to the warriors depending upon their capacity. Like in army they give Shaurya Chakra, Veera Chakra, Param Veera Chakra, like that. So similarly, those days their titles were there. And the smallest title is Ardharatha. His title will be Ardharatha. Means he can fight with many soldiers but less than 1,000. Then Ardharatha. Ratha means he can fight with 1,000 soldiers. Single-handedly, 1,000 he can handle. Maharatha means 10,000. So he can handle 10,000. Ayuta. So yaha yudhyati ayutaihi veeraihi. So at a time this 10,000 he can handle. Then it is Maharatha. 1,000 is Ratha, 10,000 Maharatha. And innumerable, any number he can handle. Then Atiratha. That was only reserved for some people like Bhishma Pitama, Arjuna, they were there. So, but these are Maharatha. Okay, this is the description of Pandava's army done by whom? Duryodhana. In the last class I said Duryodhana Uvacha should be there. It is not there. But I said that some people they say that Duryodhana Uvacha was not accepted in the Gita, therefore. Then somebody said, but Duryodhana name is there. Yes, name is there, but Uvacha is not there. Duryodhana Uvacha is not there. Duryodhana name we don't have problem. Even Duryodhana Uvacha is there, no problem. We don't have problem with anybody. When we study Vedanta, slowly we grow into that person who doesn't have any problem. Be like Akasha. Akasha accommodates everything. One is capable of accommodating everything. Pujya Swamiji says that when you grow, your heart becomes spacious. Means your heart is like space, capable of accommodating all. So we don't have problem. This is how some commentators they have to justify that everywhere Uvacha is there. How come here it is not there? So they have to give some reason, and some commentators they will say should be there, but by mistake it is omission. Or some people want to give extra comment that Duryodhana's name was not to be included in Gita. Some people like marriage invitation we don't want to include. So like that here they don't want to include. Alright. So far the description of the Pandavas army done by Duryodhana. Now he said, he is talking to whom? Remember, he is talking to Dronacharya. We should know who is talking to whom. So Dronacharya is addressed by Duryodhana. Now Duryodhana continues and he says, now I will talk to you about our great warriors. I have talked to you about their great warriors. Now it is our turn. Asmakam tu vishishtaye Tannibodhadvijottama Nayaka mama sainyasya Sanyarthantan bravimite. He is addressing Dronacharya, his teacher, Dvijottama. Dvijanam Uttamaha, the best among the Dvija. Dvija has got a meaning twice born. Dvi means twice, Ja means born, twice born. Twice born means what? Everybody has got one birth. But by birth, all of us are unrefined, generally. Janmana jayate shudraha. Shudra means unrefined. So by birth, everybody is unrefined. Then karmana dvija uchyate. Then by action we become twice born. And that beginning of the action prescribed by the Shastra is marked by Yagnopavita, the sacred thread. So the one who gets the sacred thread, that person is called Dvijaha. And among the Dvija, you are the best. So Dvijottama. And O Dvijottama, He Dronacharya, Tan Nibodha. May you know, Nibodha means may you know, Tan about them. Ye who are Asmakam Vishishtaha. Who are Asmakam is our. Vishishtaha means special, significant warriors, commanders. So, O Dronacharya, may you know about them who are our great warriors. And Nayakaha Mama Sainyasya, who are Nayakaha, the leaders, commanders of our army, now my army, who are commanders of my army, means our army. And Tan, about them, Sangnartham Bravimi, I tell you Sangnartham, just for information, for enumeration. You know all of them, but just to have the evaluation of the relative strength. So we have to have the comparison and contrast. Like in any cricket match starts, so the two teams, they will say, this player is comparable to that player in this team, captain, bowler, strength, the relative strength they will show. So similarly, this Duryodhana is doing that. He said, they have got great warriors, and now I am enumerating their names for getting this idea of contrast, idea of comparison. So Sangartham, only for enumeration, so that we can get the relative idea, the strength of the relative strength idea. Therefore I am Bravimi, I am telling. So by saying Sangartham, he wants to say that I know that you know them, but still for enumeration, for your just drawing your attention, I am telling. Alright. Having done this introduction, he starts giving the list of great warriors on his side, Kaurava's side. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Krupascha Samitinjayah Ashwathama Vikarnasya Somadattistathaiva cha. So Duryodhana, he uses psychology. What is the psychology? That when we are enumerating some people for a given task, or the people to be invited or anything, we start with the person in front. So that person feels good. See, he remembered me first. So even though in the first 10 days, Bhishma Pitama was the chief of army. So he should start with Bhishma Pitamaha. Because he is the chief, so chief name should come first. But he says, Bhavan, yourself, your honor. So Duryodhana thought that if I say like this, Dronacharya will be very enthused and he will fight well. Because Duryodhana's one problem is that he himself was having the manipulative mind. And therefore, he thinks that all others are like this. They are not the way they appear to be. And therefore, he always has struggled to enthuse people, to make them loyal. And as a part of that, he says, Bhavan, you. Then, suppose somebody says, who are the people contributed in your life? Somebody asks you, and you start with that person. You, first of all, you feel very good. So, Duryodhana says, Bhavan, Then Bhishmaha. Second is Bhishma Pitamaha, who was their grandfather. Karnaha, who was originally the son of Kunti, but now on the Kaurava side. Karna, great warrior he was. Krupaha, Krupacharya, who is brother-in-law of Dronacharya. Krupaha. So your relative also is great warrior, Krupaha. Who is Samitinjaya. Samitinjaya is not the name, is a title. Samitinjaya means victorious in war. That is called Samitinjaya. Samiti means war. Jaya means victorious. Ashwathama. Ashwathama is the son of Dronacharya. So he is like all members are in the cabinet. All your family members are there in the list. Ashwathama. And he was a great warrior, no doubt. So his name is included. Ashwathama. Ashwasya iva sthama balam asya. One who has got the strength like horse. That is called Ashwathama. Vikarna is one of the Kauravas. Vikarna, the name of the warrior. Tathaivacha, and similarly Somadatti, the son of Somadatta, Bhurishrava, he is also great warriors. So these are the great warriors in Kaurava's side. And afterwards somehow the Duryodhana could not find great warriors, did not come to his mind. See, when he described the Pandavas, so many he described. When his own come, then afterward, like what, that there was a blank. And therefore, like sometimes we do know, etc., etc. When something doesn't come, who all came? Oh, Ramu came, Shyamu came, Dingu came, etc. And all other etc. So we say that. So similarly, Duryodhana also is doing that. And there are so many others. He could not find great warriors in his side. So he said there are many more. In the next shloka he says, Anye cha bahava shuraha madarte tyakta jivitaha nana shastra praharanaha sarve yuddha visharadaha. Anye cha bahava shuraha. And there are, bahava means many, shuraha means warriors. There are many powerful warriors. Anye other. There are many other powerful warriors. And they are very loyal to me. See, he has to tell himself, they are very loyal, very loyal. Because he gets doubt. See, in life, when I have this manipulative tendency, then I will doubt everybody else also to have the same thing. Papi sarvatra papam ashankate. In Sanskrit it is very beautifully said. When I am given to adharma, then I will doubt everybody to have adharma only. If I tell lies, then I cannot trust others. I think he also will be telling like Asmadadivat, like me. That happens. So he has to say for himself to himself, Madarte tyakta jivitaha. Means what? They have given up their life. Means they are ready to give up their life. Madarte, for my sake. So these great warriors are there. Many other great warriors are there who are ready to give up their life for my sake. And this particular expression shows that Duryodhana is looking upon them as somebody who are meant for him. Whereas Arjuna is going to say, for whose sake we are doing all this. So his approach is different. Duryodhana says, all are meant for me. Whereas Arjuna is going to say, I am meant for them. That is the maturity. You think that everybody should serve you and you are the only enjoyer. That approach is not correct. Yes, I will contribute to the society. I will contribute to the well-being of all. That is maturity. But he says, Madarte tyakta jivitaha. And Nana Shastra Praharanaha. Nana means many, various. Shastra, weapons. Praharana means missiles. They are endowed with many. Shastra means hand-held weapons. That is called Shastra. Praharana means that which is thrown, like arrows, or these what is called spear? What is spear? The spear, etc. You throw it on others. Whereas this sword, etc., you hold in your hand. Generally, you don't throw it. Sometimes you may throw also, but generally held in hand, and you use gada, this mace also, that you hold in your hand and fight. That is called shastra. And what you throw on others, that is called praharana. In Sanskrit, another word is that astra. So astra and shastra. So astra which is thrown on the enemies, shastra which is held in the hand, that is called shastra. And these people are having many types of shastra and praharana, the astras, missiles. In those days, they used to use the mantra power. Nowadays we have got nuclear power. So nuclear, this Brahmastra is something like nuclear bomb only. But they did not use any material energy. They used the mantra energy. So Brahmastra means what? A weapon or this arrow which is thrown invoking the energy of Brahmaji. So they will chant the mantra related to Brahma and then it is thrown. Arrow is the same, only mantra is different. So that type of energy, mantra energy they used to use. And it is very powerful. From one arrow they can make fire also. Another a similar arrow they will bring water also. So that is how the shastra and astra were there. The nana shastra praharanaha. So they are having many weapons and missiles. And sometimes you may have got great weapons, but you don't know how to use it. Then a problem. They say, I don't know how far it's true, that in 71 war, the Pakistan had some weapons, but they did not have expert to use the weapons. Therefore, they could not make use of the weapons properly. That's what the India will say like this, but that's how. So, therefore, Duryodhana says, our people are not like that. Sarve yuddha visharadaha. Padakritya. So, all are yuddha visharadaha. All are expert in fighting. Means they know how to use the weapons. Otherwise, your weapons, they will take away and they will beat you with that weapons. Which Swamiji used to say. He says, when you are weak and you are going to fight with a strong person, never take weapon with you. Why? Because the first thing that other person will do is what? Take away your weapon and beat you with that weapon. So that is not the case. Sarve yuddha visharadaha. They are very expert in fighting. Alright. Now, in the next shloka, Duryodhana gives his judgment about the relative strength of both the armies. That is what a commander has to do. So he is doing that. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma bhirakshitam paryaptam tvidame balam bhima bhirakshitam. This shloka is interpreted in two ways. We will see the general interpretation first. He says, Tat. Tat means therefore. Because of the description of the army, or based on the description of the army I have given, therefore, Asmakam balam, our army, balam here means army, our army, Aparyaptam. Aparyaptam means unsurmountable, unconquerable. Paryaptam is sufficient. Aparyaptam here is in the sense of more than sufficient, unsurmountable. It is not to be defeated, undefeatable. Bhishma bhirakshitam, protected by Bhishma. Our army is number-wise also great, and it is led by a great warrior, Bhishma. Bhishma Birakshitam, protected by Bhishma. And Paryaptam tu idam etesham balam. Tu, whereas idam etesham balam, this army of those people, Pandavas, is Paryaptam. Paryaptam means limited, surmountable, defeatable, can be defeated, defeatable, it can be defeated. And Bhima Birakshitam is just protected by Bhima. Whereas our army is protected by Bhishma, a great warrior, and it is Aparyaptam. It is unsurmountable, unconquerable. And therefore what he is saying by this, that we are going to win. Every team before that they will say like this, that we have got so many great bowlers and batsmen and all, and they have got very few, so we are going to win. So he says that our army is Aparyaptam, more than sufficient, and led by Bhishma, whereas their army is Paryaptam, so very limited and protected by just Bhima. So this is one interpretation in which Duryodhana is showing his confidence that he is feeling that he is going to win because they have got good army and strength, very strong army. But same shloka is interpreted in other ways which may not be agreed by all the scholars, but it's a nice interpretation, so we can see that, and it has got some basis where Aparyaptam is insufficient and Paryaptam means that sufficient. So now it is opposite. Our army is insufficient. Their army is sufficient. And by this what is suggested? That Duryodhana is feeling little diffident. One expression is diffident. Because after, in the next shloka, in the 12th shloka it is going to come that Bhishma Pitama is going to generate the enthusiasm in Duryodhana. So it looks like that he might have been feeling diffident. Based on that, this interpretation also is given that Duryodhana says our army is not sufficient for victory, whereas their army is sufficient for victory. Even though our army is protected by Bhishma, still not enough. Whereas their army, even though protected by Bhima, but still it is Paryaptam, enough. And based on this interpretation, we can say that Duryodhana was feeling little diffident and Arjuna and other Pandavas were feeling confident because of two factors. Since this is useful to learn, therefore we are highlighting this interpretation. And that is, Pandavas were feeling confident because they were on the side of Dharma, or Dharma was there on their side. Righteousness was there, and when you are following Dharma, you have confidence. Because there is a very good saying, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When Dharma is protected by you, means followed by you, then it will protect. Protected Dharma will protect you. If you protect Dharma, you follow Dharma, then Dharma will protect you. And it will give confidence. So, Pandavas were having the confidence because of the factor of Dharma. Second factor which gave them a lot of confidence was Bhagavan's presence. Bhagavan Sri Krishna's presence. Bhagavan is on our side. Then when I am with you, then who can be against you? So when Bhagavan is with you, then you feel very confident. And from that, we learn one thing. Two things we can learn. One is that material strength is not really giving security in your life. What gives security is following dharma, following values. That gives you security, that gives you confidence. And second thing is, when you are having the appreciation of Bhagavan's presence in your life, then you have confidence. And appreciating Bhagavan's presence is called bhakti. So when you have got bhakti in your life, when you have dharma in your life, you will have confidence. Material strength doesn't give you confidence. The bhakti and dharma, they give the confidence in life. And that we can learn from this particular second interpretation of the shloka. And now, having given his judgment about the relative strength of both the armies, in the next shloka, Duryodhana is giving instruction to all the commanders of his army, directly to Dronacharya, but through Dronacharya to all. He says, Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avasthitaha bhishmameva virakshantu bhavantas sarva eva hi. So he is giving the instruction. Bhavantaha sarve eva hi. All of you, indeed, all of you, sarve bhavantaha, all of you, Bhishmam eva abhirakshantu. All of you abhirakshantu, protect. May all of you protect Bhishmam eva, to Bhishma alone. Why? Bhishma abhirakshitam. Our army is safe as long as protected by Bhishma. By chance something happens to Bhishma, then our confidence level will go down further. And therefore, Bhishmam eva abhirakshantu. May all of you protect Bhishma. But it doesn't mean that where Bhishma is there, all of you come there. That is not the idea. Therefore he says, Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avasthitaha. Avasthita means remaining. Sarveshu ayaneshu. In all strategic points, remaining in strategic points means remaining in your position. Yatha bhagam, as allotted. So remaining in the position as allotted means wherever you are, you should remain there only. But you keep eye on Bhishma Pitamaha. Protect him, because as long as he is protected, then he will protect us. Therefore, may you protect, may you give extra attention on protecting Bhishma Pitamaha. That is the instruction of Duryodhana. And now, when this dialogue is completed between the Duryodhana and Dronacharya, and Bhishma Pitamaha must be overhearing, and he must have felt that Duryodhana is feeling little down, going down little bit, and therefore to generate the enthusiasm, even though Duryodhana may have some doubt about the loyalty of Bhishma Pitamaha, but Bhishma Pitamaha was loyal to his dharma. So he is fighting from Kaurava's side, so he will fight wholeheartedly. And now he found that Duryodhana is feeling little low spirited, and therefore to generate enthusiasm in him, he is blowing the conch, which also marks the beginning of this war. That is in the next shloka. Tasya sanjanayan harsham kuru vruddhah pitamaha simhanadam vinadyochaihi shankham dadbhu pratapavan. Bhishma Pitamaha is called here Kuru Vruddha Pitamaha. Kuru Vruddha means the oldest among the Kuru family. He was the most senior person in that family. Therefore, Kuru Vruddha. Pitamaha. Literally, Pitamaha means grandfather. In Sanskrit, father is called Pita, grandfather is called Pitamaha, and great grandfather is called Prapitamaha. So, Pitamaha means grandfather. But really speaking, Bhishma Pitamaha was not married, so he did not have even son. Putra eva nasti. So, he was not even Pita. How can he be Pitamaha? So, Pitamaha means elderly like Pitamaha, like grandfather. Therefore, Pitamaha. He was in fact known as Bhishma Pitamaha only. So, Kuru Vruddha Pitamaha Bhishma Tasya of Duryodhana Harsham enthusiasm Sanjanayan generating the enthusiasm of or enthusiasm in Duryodhana Simhanadam Uchchehi Vinadya, and having made sound Uchchehi aloud, Simhanadam like a lion roar, having made a sound aloud, Simhanadam like a lion's roar, Shankam Dadmau, he blew the conch. And who is he? Pratapavan, the most powerful. The most powerful Bhishma Pitamaha blew the conch, having made a sound like a lion. Lion's roar he made. And idea is that Bhishma Pitamaha wanted to now start. He wanted to mark the beginning. And he being the senior most, he is marking the beginning of this war. In those days, the blowing the conch means starting of the war. And so he marked the beginning. And also he wanted to now conclude that conversation which was going on. So he did blowing the conch. Sometimes they do like this. A lot of dialogues and going on. Then we say Namah Parvati Pataye. So it means everything is over. So now conversation not there. So he blew the conch. And when he blew the conch, then it was followed by his army people. Means the commanders of his armies also blew the conch. They followed. Because Bhishma Pitamaha was the leader. So all other warriors on the Kaurava side, they followed. Tata Shankascha Bheryascha Panavanaka Gomukhaha Sahasaivabhyahanyanta Sashabdastu bhavat Tataha. Thereafter means after Bhishma Pitamaha blew the conch, thereafter Shankhaha. So various these instruments are blown and beaten. Shankhaha, the conches. Bheryaha, drums. Panava, Anaka, Gomukhaha. These three instruments. Panava also is a type of drum, dhola. So both sides huge will be there. The Panava means the round shape. You must have seen in those days temple used to have. That is called Bherya. Generally temple huge. That Nagara they call it. So that drum, then Padava, dhola, big will be there, big body, and both sides it will be beaten. Anaka is a mridanga, which is slightly different variation. Gomukha is a bugle, so is called Gomukha. So all of them were Sahasa Eva, all of a sudden. All of a sudden means what Bhishma Pitamaha did, and all of a sudden this big sound came. Abhyahanyanta. So all these instruments were sounded forth, blown and beaten and blown. And Saha Shabdaha, that sound of all the instruments, drums, Tumulaha Abhavat, became very huge. So you imagine thousands of people are this beating the drum and blowing the conches, etc. How big sound it will be. Our temple also they move, they do so much sound here. So one person does. Imagine at a time thousands of people do it. So Saha Shabdaha tumulaha, very huge it became. Alright. Then, what happens on the Pandavas side? So far, up to 13 sloka, answer to that question, Mamakaha kim akurvata? What did my people do? That was answered. Etadantena mamakaha kim akurvata iti Dhritarashtra prashnaha samahitaha. So Dhritarashtra's question, what did my people Kaurava do? That question was answered. What is the answer given? That Duryodhana went to Dronacharya and then he had a dialogue. The relative strength was thought of, and then he gave his judgment, and Bhishma Pitama blew the conch, and all other commanders also blew the conches, etc. So this is the answer given. Now what happens from the Pandavas side? Did they get frightened and they ran away? Oh, such a huge sound they are making in the beginning itself. So what will happen? No, they responded very well. In fact, they responded more strongly than even Kauravas. That is going to be described by Sanjaya. From now onwards, Sanjaya Uvacha, it should be there. In fact, there itself, from the 12th sloka itself, Sanjaya Uvacha can come, because Sanjaya had described this. Duryodhana went off the scene. Okay. Now, Sanjaya starts the description of Pandavas' army and their blowing the conch. Tatashvetirhayir yukte mahatisyandane sthitau madavah pandavasyaiva divyo shankau pradadmatuhu. Tataha, thereafter means after Bhishma Pitamaha and other warriors on Kaurava's side blew their instruments, thereafter Shvetehi hayehi yukte mahati syandane sthitau madavaha pandavaha cha. Madhava means Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Pandavaha refers to Arjuna. Divyo shankau pradadbatuhu. Bhagavan Sri Krishna and Pandava Arjuna pradadmatuhu, blew. Divyo shankau, this celestial conches. So they had very special conch, so both of them blew the conch. Madhavaha is the name of Krishna. What is the meaning? Ma means Lakshmi, Maya or Vidya. All the meanings are there. Ma is equal to Lakshmi, Vidya or even Maya. Dhava means the husband. So one who is the husband of Pati of this Maya or Vidya or Lakshmi, Vishnu Bhagavan, he is called Madhavaha. And Krishna is the avatara of Vishnu, therefore he is called Madhavaha. And also another way Krishna is called Madhava is, he was born in the Madhu's family. There was a great king called Madhu, and he was born in that family, therefore he is called Madhava. Madhoho ayam Madhavaha. And Pandava, Arjuna is called Pandava because he is the son of Pandu. And both of them are sthitau, are seated in Mahati Syandane, in a huge chariot. And what type of chariot? Shvetehi hayehi yukte. The chariot which is endowed with, driven by Shvetehi hayehi, by white horses. So Shri Krishna and Arjuna, who were seated in huge chariot driven by Shvetehi hayehi, white horses. And those two, Madhava and Pandava, blew the conch. Now, here the Shvetehi hayehi yukte has got some significance. This is based on, significance can be seen based on the description of our life given in Kathopanishad. In life, in the Upanishad, Kathopanishad, life is compared to a journey, and Jiva is compared to the master of the chariot, and our body is compared to the chariot, a vehicle, and this our sense organs are compared to the horses, and our mind is compared to rein, that particular strap. Our buddhi is compared to a driver. This is the analogy, metaphor given there. Our body is like a chariot, our buddhi is like a driver, our organs are like these horses, and mind is like rein. And the Ratha Swami, the master of the vehicle, is Jivatma. And there is a beautiful description given to convey that if horses are good, disciplined horses are there, and this well informed driver is there, then it will take the master to desired place, destination. Otherwise, the driver will take this master to some ditch. Some difficulty will lead to. So, in that, the horses are the comparison for sense organs. And here it is a Shvetaihi Hayehi. Shveta stands for Satvika, Sattva Guna. And therefore, these horses are Shveta, means they are Sattvika. It is a comparison for sense organs. So Arjuna has his life. Arjuna is a Ratha Swami, and Bhagavan Sri Krishna is a driver, showing that a Ratha Swami should surrender to that driver who is having the mastery. And Ratha Swami should have that type of chariot which has got disciplined horses. So Arjuna is having this advantage of having Bhagavan Sri Krishna as his driver. Actually, Buddhi should be the driver, but Buddhi is surrendered to Bhagavan. The Buddhi tuned with Bhagavan, if it is there, then that driving will be wonderful. So Arjuna has surrendered his Buddhi to Bhagavan. That is symbolized by making Bhagavan as the driver. Make Bhagavan as the driver of your life. Then your journey will be good. And making Bhagavan as driver means what? Leading our life as prescribed by the Lord. And where is the prescription of given by the Lord? It is there in the Shastra. So when you lead your life according to Shastra, you have given drivership, the driver position to Bhagavan. And Arjuna has done that. And his horses, means his organs, are also Sattvika, means discipline, and therefore Shvetaihi. Shveta stands for the Sattva Guna. So that idea also is conveyed by the word Shvetaihi Hayehi Yukte Bahati Syandane Sthitau Madhava Pandavaha Divyo Shankho Pradadbatu. Protocol wise, this Krishna did not have any position. He was just a driver. He was not commander. He was not even a warrior, just a driver. And generally, driver doesn't participate in the war. Still, even though Sri Krishna did not have any official position, officially speaking, even Drishtadyumna was the commander, chief of army. So he should have blown the conch. But here, Bhagavan Sri Krishna did. Why? Because even though Bhagavan Sri Krishna did not have official position, but he alone was guiding the Pandavas' army. And Pandavas had so much faith in Sri Krishna, and therefore they must have requested Bhagavan Sri Krishna to blow the conch. And therefore Madhavaha and Pandavaha Pradadbatuhu. And when this conch was blown by Madhava and Pandava, Sri Krishna and Arjuna, then other Pandavas also started blowing the conch. That is described in the next sloka. Panchajanyam Rishikeshah Devadattam Dhananjayah Paundram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhimakarma Vrukodaraha. So now other members of Pandava's army, especially Pandavas, and then followed by other warriors, the conches are blown. And here we observe one thing. When it came to Kaurava's army, in one sloka description got over. Then they tatasah sevabhyahanyanta in the tatashankasya bheryasya panavanaka gomukha, one sloka over. When it came to Pandava's side, Sanjaya had some soft corner, or Vedavyasa had some soft corner, and therefore huge description is given. See, we see that in our life. Whom we don't like much, we say only 2-3 words. Introduction over. Whom we like, people have to say stop now. So that type of thing happened. So Sanjaya had the soft corner. It happens. It is not that sometimes we do deliberately. It happens. You must have experienced this. That if we like somebody and with that person you spend hours together, still you feel, oh, it's not enough. So many things were remaining. I would have talked. Whole night is over. They start 9 o'clock and 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. The temple bell rings. Then we know, oh my God, whole night is over. You like. And some people, you have to just spend 5 minutes that both of them will be watching. That happens. Like class, it happens. Sometimes you like the class, then you are engrossed. Not like every now and then you look at back. What is the time? Or now you have to see somewhere. So this Sanjaya is describing the Pandavas' army and the blowing conch very elaborately. Here, Panchajanyam Rishikeshaha Devadattam Dhananjayaha. So already he has told Madhava, Pandava, Divyo, Shankhav. But again he brings their name because he did not tell which is the conch he blew. So he wants to give the name. Conch also had a name. What is the conch? Rishikesha, Sri Krishna blew Panchajanyam. He had specially brought from the ocean Panchajanyam. Rishikeshaha Dadmau. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna is called Rishikesha. Why? Rishikanam Indriyanam Ishaha. The Lord of all the organs is called Rishikesha. Or Harsat Sukhat Sukheshwaryat Rishikeshatvam Ashnute. Because of joy, because of the Aishwarya power, he is called Rishikesha. So that Bhagavan Sri Krishna blew the conch called Panchajanya. Dhananjaya, Arjuna had one title called Dhananjaya. Dhanam Jayati Dhananjaya. When they did the Rajasuya Yaga, then Arjuna went on victory drive, victory trip, Vijayatra it is called. And during that he collected lot of money from different kings. That is why he got the name Dhananjaya. And he blew the conch. Name of the conch is Devadatta. Devadatta means Devena Datta, given by the Lord. He is Devadatta. Then Vrukodara is the name of Bhima. Vruka means wolf. Udara means stomach. Bhima had the stomach like wolf. So wolf has got huge stomach, we may think. No. Wolf doesn't have big stomach. However, when wolf eats so much, I was hungry like wolf, so they say, so wolf, so much appetite is there. But however much it eats, his stomach doesn't come out. So Bhima had like this, Vrukodaraha. His stomach was like Vruka. People generally think Bhima must be in huge stomach. Kayam Churna people, they may say outside. Bhima did not have outside bulging belly, was not there. Vrukodara, that Bhima Karma, having the terrible action He used to throw these rocks, big rocks. That's what is that Bhima Karma. Even from childhood he was like this. He used to beat these Kauravas and all. That's why the Kauravas became enemy. One reason was that. In childhood he will go and he will, the Kauravas are sitting on the tree, he will shake the tree, that fellows will fall down. The Bhima Karma he was. So that's why they used to get angry from childhood. That animosity started since then. Okay, Bhima Karma. Pondram. The name of his conch, Shankha, is Pondram. Mahashankham. Big conch. Naturally, Bhima is blowing and small conch it will break. And therefore, Mahashankham, big conch, called Pondra. Pondra is the name of the conch. Dadmo. He blew a big conch called Pondra. And now other warriors also will blow the conch. We will see the description in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.